Hey, have either of you seen Beckett?
She's probably following up on a lead.
Don't think that I don't know that you guys cover for each other.
What's that?
Any progress on our John Doe?
Yeah. Turned out he did show up at the Canberra Cafe yesterday, and he wasn't alone.
Waitress recognized him immediately, said he sat in a corner booth, met with a guy, long hair, goatee, said our Vic looked nervous.
We have the waitress working with an artist, see if we can come up with a sketch of the goateed man to use on a canvas.
All right, keep me apprised.
At 5 hours ago.
So that's Beckett's car, but that's not Castle or Beckett.
And he's not alone. Someone picked him up.
Do we know who they are?
No clue.
Can we get a plate number?
Too far away.
Also ran Beckett and Castle's cells. They're both off-grid.
What the hell did Castle get her into? I want CSU on that car with a fine-tooth comb for any possible trace evidence. They were working the John Doe with you. Where could they have gone?
Been over it a dozen times, we still don't know.
Still no hits on our long-haired man from the cafe.
Do whatever it takes to get an ID on that victim and find out what in the hell he was into. If Beckett and Castle are still out there, then they're running out of time.
So what we did was we were able to join the partials from that scrap of paper with
The print pieces that Laney recovered.
Our victim is Hank Spooner, an independent trucker out of San Antonio, owns and operates his own rig.
What was he doing in New York?
And according to his folks, he got a contract last week to pick up a load from Del Rio, Texas, and bring it to Queens. Last they heard from him was 2 days ago.
What was the cargo?
Well, all Spooner told him was he got a last-minute call from a special client who was paying him big money.
His folks also said it's unusual for him to be staying in a motel.
Apparently, Spooner never stayed in the city. He thought it was safer and cheaper to stay in his truck.
We need to find that vehicle. Get an APB out to all the major truck stops. If we're lucky, it may tell us why someone wanted Hank Spooner dead.
I think maybe I can help answer that. You looking for me? Chuck Martinez, DEA.
How did you know we were looking for you, Agent Martinez?
We had Spooner's files tagged. He's a person of interest, so I got notified when he ran his prints.
Why did you meet with him yesterday?
Your man's dead, Agent Martinez, and 2 of my folks are missing. We don't have time for jurisdictional games, so I'll ask you again. What's your interest in Spooner?
All right. Look, half a dozen times a year, Spooner takes a contract from Texas to New York, but he always makes a pickup in Del Rio, a little border town.
You think he's smuggling drugs from Mexico?
The cartels are really active in these towns. They're extremely brutal.
And if you knew Spooner was involved, why didn't you arrest him?
All the signs were there, okay? But all we had him on was suspicious activity, and we don't want the errand boy. We want the people he works for.
How'd you end up at that cafe?
Needed some leverage. So we set up a sting, posing as runners looking to hire him to move some product. Only Spooner made my guy. Now, instead of running, Spooner, he wanted to meet. And he was scared. He wanted out, and he was afraid of what they would do to him if he walked away. So he agreed to tell us everything if I guaranteed him safety, and I took that to my bosses. They agreed.
But by then, he was already dead.
Right.
Excuse me.
So where were your colleagues when they went missing?
We don't know. We just know they were on the case.
Did Spooner say anything to you about the New York operation?
All he said was, it's not at all what you think.
Troopers found a semi. Truck stop north of the city. Let's go, boys.
According to truck stop records, the rig's been parked here for 3 days. No one's seen the driver for 2. You're gonna want to take a look inside.
It's hair. These could be air holes.
Hey, over here.
Agent Martinez, are you sure these guys were smuggling drugs?
If I had answers, I'd share.
Camp Gates.
What'd you find?
Waybills.
Spooner delivered to a furniture store in Lower Manhattan 2 days ago.
Get on it.
Yep.
Call your bosses. Tell them I want all the files on this investigation. I'm getting my people back.
Captain Gates!
Furniture store owner verified that he took delivery from Spooner a couple days ago. He said it was just a couple of coffee tables packed near the rear of the truck.
And you believed him?
He was a family man, didn't have any priors.
But he did say something happened during delivery. Something weird. As they were unloading the shipment, a box fell off a stack and hit him in the shoulder.
He said the box must have been empty because it bounced right off of him. He tried to joke with Spooner, asked him if he was shipping cotton candy or air. Spooner kind of got squirrely, said it was just a couple of empties there packed there to fill some space.
No one thought it wasn't a big deal, but then he heard something from behind the boxes. Something that sounded like breathing.
So, Spooner takes a few small, legitimate jobs in order to justify his smuggling trips and places a wall of empties in front of whatever his real cargo is. Did the owner have any idea where Spooner was headed?
None.
Beckett and Castle were onto something. Where the hell did they go?
Well, the only thing we had at the time was this address.
And we were already covering it.
Oh, they must have seen or heard something that you didn't. Okay, I want you guys to...
National Bank has close to 100 properties in foreclosure in the outer boroughs, but our folks have certain needs, so we filtered out all the ones without basements.
The two houses we know they used had other common elements: close freeway access, long, wide driveways that can fit a semi, and both are situated in between empty lots or unoccupied houses, minimizing the nosy neighbor factor.
Now you cross-reference all that, it leaves us with 11 likelies in the outer boroughs.
Divvy up the list, get unis out to all 11 properties, and let's bring them back alive.
Handcuffed together that long? Surprised you two didn't kill each other.
Yeah, well, there were a couple of moments.
Until we found our rhythm.
I think we'll fly to Florida.
What?
I believe this is yours. This too.
Thank you. How did you guys... even find us?
Well, we followed your breadcrumbs and it led us here.
And lucky for all of us, some of my detectives keep me informed as to their whereabouts. Thanks to you two, I'm instituting a new policy in our department. No one goes anywhere without calling it in.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate that.
Well, at least we won't have to look so hard next time we save your ass.
Her name is Ruth Spurlock, and it turns out her and her sons were major suppliers of endangered tigers to wealthy customers all around the world.
Hard to believe it's worth killing for.
The exotic animal trade's $1 million industry.
Texas, which has almost no regulations, is one of the few places in the world where selling and breeding tigers is not illegal.
Ruth and her boys were making millions off her breeding for him.
Spooner would truck them from Del Rio up to New York.
And then wealthy clients would smuggle them past customs and ship them out on their private jets.
Right. Except outside of Texas, trafficking endangered species is a criminal offense, so Ruth didn't want Spooner ratting her out.
Which is why when we showed up at her house, she played the victim so she could get the drop on us.
Yeah, knocked us out using animal tranquilizers, which can't be good for me. I still have a taste in my mouth.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna turn the trafficking case over to the FBI and Customs. You can coordinate with them on your murder charge.
Thank you, Agent Martinez. I'll walk you out.
Hey.
Beckett, my office. What did you find out at City Hall?
Staffer that reported the car stolen is accounted for all last night, and no one in the mayor's office seems to recognize our victim.
So her ties to that vehicle could be purely coincidental.
That's entirely possible.
Castle and the mayor are friends, right?
Sir?
These investigations are like juggling wet dynamite. One misstep, and it'll all blow up in your face.
I can handle myself.
Well, that's good, Detective, because I won't be the only one watching.
What was that about?
Politics? And your connection to the mayor?
Oh, what does it matter? We know he's not involved. What?
She's right, you are biased.
I'm biased? Do you know who Gates voted for in the last election? Because his career is over.
So, what's the latest?
We got a couple of promising leads. I'm hoping to find something concrete soon.
Or anything more on the victim? Anything connecting her back to City Hall?
No, not yet.
All right, Detective. Anything pops, you let me know.
Great. Now I'm a liar.
You know what I think? I think she's hoping it's him. Because if he's gone...
Are you sure about this?
Yes, sir. But the moment I file a warrant request for that coat, it becomes public record.
So?
So then everyone will know that Mayor Weldon is a person of interest.
Isn't he?
Yes, but what if I'm wrong? It could ruin his career.
We are tasked by the city of New York to protect its people. Sometimes that task comes with a cost. I know what they call me, Detective. Iron Gates. I hear the whispers. She's from IA. She must hate cops. Well, the truth is, I love cops. My daddy was a cop. My uncles were cops. But the sergeant who assaulted my patrol partner under the color of authority, who holds him accountable? We do. Go to the mayor. Get him to voluntarily surrender his coat for fiber testing without a warrant. Tell him it's the only way to keep it out of the media. But if he refuses, you get that warrant and you do your job, whatever the cost. It seems our mayor will live to fight another day. Justice has prevailed.
Not for Laura Cambridge.
We charged Mr. Norris with criminal facilitation. That's something.
Jordan Norris is a pawn. I want the people controlling him.
Oh, it's a long game, Kate. Play it piece by piece.
You know what? I don't even want to know.
Detective Beckett, Mr. Castle, good of you to drop by. So, tell me about this special assignment of yours.
I'm afraid I can't, sir.
Excuse me?
Yes, it's on a need-to-know basis.
And I need to know.
Sir, I think that the chief of detectives would back me up on this one.
Well, we'll see about that.
Did you see how mad she was? God, that was so good.